Claude Code versus Codex. $200 a month for either one. I've used Claude Code for months, switched to Codex, then switched back. And the reason has nothing to do with benchmarks. Today, the definitive comparison covering models, performance, ecosystem, pricing, and a real case study where I tested both on the exact same task. Let's start with what powers them. Claude Code runs on Opus 4.6, Anthropic's flagship. Codex runs on GPT 5.3 Codex, OpenAI's latest coding model. The key benchmark is the task completion time horizon. How long of a task can the model reliably complete? At 50% success rate, Opus 4.6 handles tasks that would take a human 12 hours. GPT 5.3 Codex 5 hours and 50 minutes. That's a massive gap. It closes at 80% success. But it tells you which model can tackle longer, harder problems. Claude Code is famously faster. But here's the thing that nobody talks about. Speed doesn't matter as much as you think. If an agent finishes in half the time but then you spend 10 minutes debugging its output versus an agent that takes longer but gets it right the first time, that extra implementation time is worth it. Speed is a vanity metric for coding agents. What matters is first attempt accuracy and how much babysitting the agent needs after it's done. The origin stories are fascinating. Claude Code started as a side project by Boris Cherny at Anthropic, a terminal prototype that could talk to the Claude API, read files, and run bash commands. Half the team was using it by day 5. It launched as a research preview in February 2025. Codex has a different lineage. The original Codex was a 12 billion parameter GPT-3 model fine-tuned on GitHub code that powered the first GitHub Copilot. The new Codex CLI launched April 2025, and the latest model is described by OpenAI as the first model that helped create itself. Under the hood, they're built completely differently. Claude Code is written in TypeScript using React with Ink for terminal rendering. It ships as a single bun executable. Anthropic actually acquired Bun in December 2025 specifically for this. Codex is written in Rust for performance and correctness. OpenAI even hired the maintainer of Ratatouille, a Rust TUI library, for the team. Both support roughly 1 million token context windows, and both are essentially thin wrappers around their respective APIs. Here's where it gets interesting. Benchmarks are close, but token economics tell a different story. According to Morph's comprehensive review, Claude Code uses 3 to 4 times more tokens than Codex on identical tasks. On a Figma plugin build, Codex consumed 1.5 million tokens compared to Claude's 6.2 million. If that holds true across your workload, you are significantly more likely to hit rate limits on Claude Code, even though you're paying the same subscription price. Now, for the thing that actually matters most, the feel. Developers consistently describe it the same way. Claude feels like a senior developer working alongside you. It asks questions, shows reasoning, explains its approach, works interactively in your terminal. Codex feels like a contractor. You hand tasks off to and come back for results. It runs autonomously in a sandboxed environment and presents finished work. Codex is famous for first attempt accuracy on straightforward tasks. Claude excels at complex, nuanced work that requires back and forth. But here's the key insight: these differences diminish significantly when you write good instructions in your agent's MD or Claude.md files. This is the factor nobody talks about, but it's what actually tipped the scales for me. Your subscription isn't just for a coding agent, it's for the entire ecosystem. Anthropic is building something that feels like Apple. Claude Chat, Claude Code, Claude Cowork with scheduled local tasks, and they're gradually rolling out pieces of a proactive personal agent. On OpenAI's side, aside from Codex, the rest feels fragmented. ChatGPT's UI, tone, and model selection don't encourage use when compared to Claude. And Claude Code has 6.1 million VS Code installs with a 4 out of 5 rating versus Codex at 5.4 million installs with a 3.5 rating. The community matters. Pricing is basically the same at the extremes. $20 a month for entry, $200 for heavy use. But Claude Code offers something Codex doesn't: a $100 a month mid-tier, the Max 5x plan. For most developers, this is more than enough. You're not forced to make a crazy jump from $20 to $200. This makes Claude Code cheaper in practice for the majority of users. Now, the case study. I tested both on the exact same task. Build a RAG pipeline for research papers. 5 papers, 100 test questions with ground truth answers. Same instructions for both. Process PDFs, choose a chunking strategy, create embeddings, generate answers with Llama 3.1. Both use their best models with high effort. The results were fascinating. Both chose the same embedding model and top 5 retrieval. But they diverged on everything else. Claude chose ChromaDB for vectors, recursive character splitting at 1,000 characters. Codex chose PhiESS, sentence level word splitting at 220 words. For confidence, Claude used a simple distance threshold. Codex built a multi-criteria 3-tier system. Code architecture-wise, Claude wrote flat functions. Codex built an object-oriented pipeline with centralized config and a CLI. The head-to-head results. Out of 100 questions, Claude Code won 42, Codex won 33, and 25 were ties. Claude's edge came from looser confidence gating and a slightly higher generation temperature. But Codex's code was better engineered, more configurable, with proper object-oriented architecture. Claude was faster and tested the pipeline end-to-end automatically. Codex finished the implementation, but left you to install requirements and run it yourself. When I ran it, there was an error Codex had to fix. Claude's script worked perfectly first try. My verdict: just pick one. There is no terminally wrong decision here. Both offer strong models and get the job done. For me, 3 things brought me back to Claude Code: the Anthropic ecosystem pulling hard, the $100 a month pricing tier, and the interactive senior developer feel. But if you prefer autonomous execution, Codex is excellent. The most important thing is what you use these tools for and how you use them. Try the $20 tier of both on your actual work. That will tell you more than any benchmark ever could. Subscribe for more AI deep dives that save you real money.